Hi, Erica Boucher here. And before we dive into today's practice, I want to give you 3 things to focus on. Number 1, let your practice be an opportunity for you to practice self-care, being kind to yourself, being gentle and compassionate with yourself. So take breaks as often as you need in child's pose, or modify the pose accordingly. Make it work for your body. And just because you were able to do a pose a week ago doesn't mean your body's feeling it right now in this moment. So always check in, allow your yoga practice to be a moment by moment experience and modify as needed. Also, do your best and let that be enough. Don't let your yoga practice be another opportunity to be hard on yourself, to be frustrated and impatient with yourself. Do your best and let that be enough. Honor your process. Respect the journey. The next thing I'd like you to look at is noticing your self-talk. How are you talking to yourself throughout your practice? Are you being frustrated, judgmental, mean? Or are you being patient and kind and supportive? One of the things I've noticed over the years is that the way we treat ourselves on the mat during our practice tends to be a direct indicator of how we treat ourselves out in the world, in our day-to-day lives. So let this be an opportunity for you to gain awareness and to choose again if you notice that your self-talk is less than loving. And finally, never compromise the breath for an asana. The breath is the most important part of the practice. It brings us from our heads down into our bodies. It grounds us. It centers us. It calms and balances the central nervous system. And we detoxify through the breath more than any other way. A good 70 to 80% of the body's toxins are released on the breath. So we want to breathe deep, rich, full-bodied breaths all the way through the practice. If you find yourself having to hold your breath, then you may be taking the practice just a little bit too far. Back off a little bit. Or maybe it's just a practice of becoming aware of the breath and reminding yourself to take that next deep, rich, full breath in. Also recognize that prana, that vital life force energy that we yogis love, rides on the breath. It travels on the breath. The breath is the vehicle for this prana, for this life force energy. So the deeper and richer breaths we take, the more prana we're inviting into our experience. So the breath is your friend. Never compromise the breath for an asana. And with those things in mind, let's begin the practice. Let's look at child's pose and in what a wonderful opportunity it is to practice self-care. There are a couple of ways to get into child's pose. You can have the feet together, knees together, and relax forward, arms extended forward or down by your sides, and let your forehead rest. But if you're at all tight in the knees or in the quads, it might be difficult for you to sit like this. If you find yourself in an awkward position where your hips are up high and your neck is bent, then modify. Bring the feet together, bring the knees as wide as your mat, and then relax forward. You want to make sure there's no uncomfortable, awkward bend in your neck. You can place one fist on top of the other and rest your forehead on your fists, or one hand flat on top of the other and rest your forehead on your hands. And take some nice deep breaths here. And just allow yourself to settle in. Stay here in child's pose for a while. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. Use this as an opportunity to work with and cultivate that deep, rich breath. Child's pose is a wonderful opportunity to get grounded, to feel your connection with the earth beneath you, with Mother Earth. It's also an opportunity to rest and integrate anything that's happened in your practice so far. And it's a wonderfully humbling pose. We're very much surrendering to the moment, surrendering to Mother Earth, hopefully surrendering the ego in our practice, because it requires surrendering the ego to give yourself permission to take a break in child's pose. Otherwise, the ego tells you you have to keep going, you have to push harder, you have to do more. So it's very much a humbling pose. It's about surrendering. It's about reconnecting with the breath, getting grounded, getting centered, integrating your experience. So take a break in child's pose as often as you'd like and as often as you need to. Be kind to yourself with child's pose. So today's practice is going to be about helping us get to know ourselves, notice our self-talk, know how to practice self-care, and bring some compassion and gentleness into our experience. So we're going to start off in child's pose. Let's bring the feet together and the knees wide. Sit back on the heels. And let's bend at the elbows. Let your elbows be as wide as your mat. Place one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead on your hands. Closing your eyes, stay here and practice deep breathing. Just allow yourself to get centered and grounded and present. And breathe deep into your belly. Breathe deep, energizing breaths into your belly, and let the breath move all the way up into the lower lungs and all the way up into the top of your lungs. And then as you exhale, exhale from your chest, and then your ribs, and then your belly. So again, inhaling belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. And we're going to breathe this way for several moments to really anchor that long, deep breathing into our experience. Relaxing into your body. Take a moment, get grounded. Feel the ground beneath you. And empty your mind. Start to create some space between your thoughts. Now let's come on to all fours, coming into table. The hands are shoulder width apart, in line with the shoulders. The knees are hip width apart, in line with your knees. And start by just creating a tabletop with your back. And continue to breathe deeply. Notice how you're feeling in your back, along your spine. And on your next in-breath, go ahead and tilt your pelvis forward. Let your navel, let your heart soften down toward the ground as you lift both ends of your spine. So you're arching your back and getting a nice deep stretch in your belly. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone, tuck the chin, lift and round your back. Pull your navel in toward your spine. Inhale up. Exhale, round. Inhale and exhale. And continue moving with the breath as you make friends with your body and enjoy what it feels like to be in your body moving this way. Maybe you can feel the tension dissolving, your spine getting warmer and looser, more flexible. There's a wonderful massage also that's happening for all of the abdominal organs here. Maybe you feel this all the way up into your neck and shoulders. And then coming back to a neutral spine, start to move from side to side and explore what it feels like to be in your body, what's going on in your body. Allow yourself to gain some new awareness here today. Good, and come back to a neutral spine. And then let's come down onto our forearms. And walking the hands forward, lifting the hips toward the sky, let your heart sink toward the earth. And you can either come onto your forehead or your chin, depending on how flexible you feel in your shoulders right now. And breathe into this. Feel those shoulders opening up. We tend to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. So as you breathe here, let some of that fall away. Good. When you're ready, lifting the elbows, go ahead and walk the hands back in line with your shoulders. And on your next in-breath, we're going to bring the right hand closer to the left hand and step that right foot forward. And then walk the hands forward. Bring that right foot to the right edge of your mat and sink into your hips here. Breathing. Just to let some energy and some space find its way into your hips. And you can walk your hands to that upper left corner of your mat. And maybe you stay here, or maybe you're able to come down onto one forearm, or maybe even both forearms. So just check in with your body and see what it's open to today. Remember, never compromise the breath for an asana. So listen to your body. And you can roll to the outer edge of that right foot and pull back on the toes. This is if you want to go a level deeper. Bring the right hand to that right knee. Look over that right shoulder, breathing here. And if you want to go even further with it, you can reach that right arm back, bending that left knee. Maybe you're able to grab a hold of that left foot. And hug the shoulder blades together, open the heart to the sky. So again, modify this as you need to. Let this work for you. Good, and then slowly release. Slowly back out of this, whatever version you're in. Let's walk the hands back in. And now we're going to heel toe the foot over to the other side. So bring that right foot in front of that left hip. And if this is not comfortable for you, you can always just bring that right foot behind that right hip. So if you're bringing that right foot in front of the left hip, start to slide that left leg back and square your hips. Keep that right hip in line with your left hip. Try not to lower onto one side or the other. And you can lift the back knee and press into that back heel, getting a deeper stretch into the hips, and then release that left leg. Walk your hands in close, lifting your heart. Draw the shoulders down your back. Easing into this, finding the pose that works for you, for your body today in this moment. And then as you exhale, you can walk the hands forward. Elbows as wide as your mat, and maybe one fist comes on top of the other, or one hand flat on top of the other. Breathe into this and feel your body adjusting, releasing, figuring things out. Just notice any emotions, any energy, any thoughts that surface for you while you're breathing into this, and continue to maintain that deep, rich, full body breath. Good. You can take your time here. You can walk your hands back in. Now we're going to go ahead and lower onto that right hip and bring that left leg forward and place that left foot flat. So sit nice and tall on your sits bones. Just hug that left leg in close. Take a few breaths here. And then with both hands grabbing hold of that left foot, the ball of the foot, and start to extend that leg. So maybe you need to keep a bend in the knee. So again, honor your body. If you're straightening the leg but it's forcing you to round your back, then bend the knee. Keep the spine nice and long. Keep the heart lifting. And breathe into this. So again, do your best and let that be enough. Allow your practice to be a gentle, compassionate one, and be patient with your process and with your journey. And notice your self-talk. What a wonderful opportunity to gain awareness of that. Taking your right hand now, bring it to the outside of that right foot. And as you inhale, lengthen your spine, lift that left arm up, and exhale, bring that arm back. And maybe you follow your hand with your eyes. But breathing into this. Good. When you're ready, inhale back to center. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Inhale, long, healthy spine. Exhale, reach that right arm back. And just embrace any awkwardness that you might be feeling. Good. And on your next in-breath, return to center. Bring both hands back to that left foot, lifting the heart. Maybe draw that leg in a little bit closer. And then releasing. And let's just bring that left foot, left leg over to the side. Bring the knees as close as you comfortably can together. So with this left hand out by your side, soften your elbow, soften your shoulder. Inhale, reach your right arm up and over. And just feel the stretch in the side body. And breathe into it. Inhale back to center. And let's come back into table. Breathing here. Good. Let's do a couple of cat and cow stretches just to integrate what we've done so far. And then back to neutral spine. Now bringing your left hand a little closer to the right hand, we're going to step that left foot forward, walk the hands forward, sinking into the hips. Left foot comes to the left edge of your mat. And now you can walk your hands to that upper right corner of your mat, breathing into this. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you come down onto one or both forearms. And again, you can stay here or roll to the outer edge of that left foot, pull back on the toes. And maybe that left hand comes to the left knee, pressing that knee away from you. Start to rotate into a twist, looking up toward the sky. And maybe you reach that left arm back, bending at the knee, and grab a hold of that right foot. Open the heart a little bit more. Breathing deeply here. Good. Slowly release. And we're going to heel toe the foot over to the other side as we transition into pigeon on this side. Slide that right leg back. Walk the hands in close. Lift the heart. Draw the shoulders down your back. Breathe here. Notice how you feel. Notice where you feel the tension. Breathe right into the center of that. Good. And then exhale, lengthen forward. And again, you can place one fist on top of another or place the palms flat. Breathing into this. When you're ready, you can walk your hands back in. And this time slowly lower onto that left hip. Bring your right leg forward. Sit nice and tall. Hug this right leg in close. Lift your heart. Breathing here. And you can bring both hands to the ball of that right foot and start to lengthen that right leg. And again, be gentle here. Try not to force that leg straight if it's going to round your back. So keep the spine nice and long, heart is lifted. And then you can work towards extending that leg. So if you're still feeling like you're stiff, then don't go for full extension at this point. Listen to your body. Remember, do your best and let that be enough. Modify as needed. Make it work for you. So instead of trying to impose an asana onto your body, let your body express itself into the asana and find its way, find its place within it. Good. Let's take the left hand to the outside of that right foot. Inhale, reach that right arm up. Exhale into a twist, following your hand with your eyes. So core is engaged, sitting nice and tall, breathing deeply. Good. Inhale back to center. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. Inhale, left arm comes back. Again, follow your hand with your eyes. Good. Inhale back to center. And you might be feeling a little more open now, so just explore what this feels like now. Still honoring your body, breathing deeply. Noticing any self-talk. Good. And then bending the knee just let that right leg rest next to that left leg. So both of your feet are to the right. Placing your right hand off to the side, soften that right elbow and shoulder down. Inhale, reach that left arm up and over. And close your eyes and breathe into this and feel the opening in the side body. There tends to be a lot of emotional energy stored in the side body. So just notice what you're feeling. Breathe right into the center of it. Noticing the impermanence of it. Good. Inhale, back to center. This time we're going to extend the legs forward and just kind of shake things out a little bit here. Good. And we're going to root down through the sits bones and pull back on the toes. Activate your legs. Roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, let's reach those arms out and up. Interlace the fingers, turn and press the palms up. Draw those arms back by your ears. Behind your ears, maybe even feel that stretch in your shoulders. Exhale, releasing. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back. Keep those legs active. Hug the shoulder blades together and broaden across the chest. Open your heart here. Good. Inhale, let's reach those arms out and up. And this time as you exhale, hinge forward, reaching as far as you can. Just go as far as you comfortably can. And then relax into a very passive forward bend. Bend your elbows, let your palms face up, let your back round, tuck your chin. And breathe into the back of your body. So forward bends are a wonderful opportunity to turn the focus inward. It's very much a reflective, an inner reflective pose and opportunity. So as you breathe here, let your body rise and fall with the breath. Feel things changing in the body. On your next in-breath, let's reach forward and up. And as you exhale, hug the shoulder blades together. And let's place the palms flat, fingers pointing in toward the body. And bend your knees, place your feet flat. Feet and knees are hip width apart. And now hug the shoulder blades together. Open your heart to the sky. You might already be feeling a deep stretch in the shoulders here. On your next in-breath, press those hips forward and up. So pressing through your hands and through your feet, lifting your hips and your heart toward the sky. Breathe deeply. Let your neck be in line with the rest of your spine. Keep expanding across the chest. Breathe. And then exhale, lower the hips. Good, relax your legs. Next in-breath, arms come out and up. Exhale, hinge forward, reach, and then again relax into a passive forward bend. Reconnect with the breath. Inhale, let's roll up, bringing those arms out and up, and then exhale, palms together. We're going to cross the legs and come forward, come back into table. And take a moment here, find it, breathe into it, move around inside of this. Notice how much things have changed since we first found our way into table. Maybe do a couple of cat and cow stretches here. And come back to center. Now let's walk the hands forward, about a full hand's length. Fingers are spread, and root down through your hands all the way into your fingertips. So get a good solid connection through your hands and fingers. And then curling the toes under, we're going to lift the hips and come into a bent-kneed downward facing dog. Elongate your arms. Press your hands down and forward as you stretch those hips up and back. And feel the stretch from your hands to your hips, from your hips to your hands. Good. And then you can press into your right heel, getting that stretch all the way down your right leg. Relax your neck. Good. Bending the right knee, pressing into your left heel. Keep pressing your chest toward your thighs. Press those hands down and forward, hips up and back. Good. Bend the left knee, press into the right heel again. And the left heel. Inhale, lift both heels high, bend both knees, press your chest towards your thighs. Exhale, press both heels back. Good. Now traction your shoulder blades down your back toward your waist. And slowly shake your head no. And nod your head yes. Good. And relax your neck. Let's talk about downward facing dog for a moment. A lot of people really want to get their heels on the ground. They really want to straighten their legs. But if we're not yet flexible in the legs, by doing so, it's going to force us to round the upper back. But if we bend the knees a little bit, we can keep that long, healthy line of energy all up and down the spine. And that's really the most important part in your downward facing dog. Let this be a spinal stretch. As we get more and more flexible, we'll be able to straighten those legs a little bit more. So maybe we start out here, and maybe after a couple weeks we're further along like here. And over time, eventually our downward facing dog will really open up. But again, this is one of those times when we want to honor our process, modify accordingly. This is a completely different pose than this. So honor your body. Honor your body. And let's lower onto the knees. Let's go ahead and bring the feet together, knees wide. Sit back onto your heels. Let's rest in child's pose. And allow yourself to integrate everything that's happened so far. So stay here. Breathe for a while. Notice how you're feeling. Notice your self-talk. Feel the prana. Feel the energy moving through your system. You might feel it as a tingling sensation or just a feeling of aliveness in your body. Good. And now inhale. Let's go ahead and sit tall. Sit back on the heels. And we're going to come back onto the balls of the feet. So curl your toes under. Come back onto the balls of your feet. Get rooted through the lower body. Let your upper body rise up toward the sky. Feel the strong core. Kind of bring it all together. Expanding and contracting. Finding the balance between those two energies. And then bring your hands to the mat. Let's lift the hips and place the feet flat. Folding forward. Again, bend your knees as much as you need to here. And you can soften the left knee. Isolate the stretch in your right leg. You can soften the right knee and isolate the stretch in your left leg. Moving that stretch from side to side. arms out wide as you inhale. Lead with your heart. Come all the way up. And bring your hands into prayer. And then relax your arms down by your sides. And find your way into Tadasana, mountain pose. So standing tall and intentionally, feeling very rooted and connected to Mother Earth, feeling light and expansive. With your eyes closed, breathe deeply. Notice how you're feeling and how you're standing. Are your feet firmly planted? Do you feel rooted and grounded and stable? Is your heart open? Do you feel, even as you're feeling rooted and grounded and stable, are you also feeling light and expansive and open? And do you feel centered? Just notice how you feel. Try not to judge it. Just check in with yourself. Bringing your hands again into prayer. We're going to open things up into a 5-pointed star. So bring your feet about as wide as your wrists. So when your arms are extended, your feet should be as wide as your wrists. And turn the feet in so the outer edges of your feet are parallel to each other. Hug the shoulders under those back ribs. Tuck your tailbone toward the earth, engaging your core, kind of stabilizing this pelvic bowl. And find the balance between expanding and contracting, hugging in toward the midline. Find the balance between these two energies where you feel the most stable and strong and at ease. Good. And then turning the right foot out, looking out over that left hand, we're going to bend that right knee toward 90 degrees, moving that right knee towards your baby toe. You should be able to see your big toe. This helps us keep from letting that knee cave in. Shoulders drop, strong core. You can look back over your left hand, see what's happening there. You can look forward over your right hand. Maybe you sink deeper into your warrior two. We're really establishing some strength and endurance. Breathe, tapping into that warrior energy. Think about why the yogis call this warrior pose. And focus your mind. Good. Inhale. Straighten that right leg. Press the hips back. Lengthen forward. Or for this one, we're going to rest our hand very gently on that right leg. It can be up here on your thigh. It can be on your shin. It can be down to your ankle. Just very lightly resting it. While we focus on rotating through the ribs, stacking the left shoulder over the right shoulder. And then reach that left arm up. Lengthening the right side of your torso as well as the left side. Breathing here. And then turning that left palm to face up, reach that left arm alongside your ear and lengthen that whole left side of your body. Feel that opening all up and down your side body. Good. Reaching that left arm up. Now wrap it behind your back. Maybe you place your left hand on your sacrum. Maybe you reach around and hook that left hand onto that right thigh. Getting a deeper rotation through the ribs. If you have the strength in your core, and this is one of those moments when you really need to check in with yourself. If you have the strength in your core, maybe you can extend that right arm forward or bring your hand to your heart. Good. Let's slowly unwind. Bending that left knee, we're going to come back into our warrior two. And then back into 5-pointed star. And let's bring it to the other side now. Turn that left foot out. Bend that left knee toward 90 degrees. Explore your way into warrior two. So don't feel like you have to immediately drop into it and be perfect. Explore your way into your warrior two. Move around inside of it a little bit. Find it. Again, maybe look back over your right hand. Look forward over that left hand. Engage your core. Maybe sink deeper. And then you can straighten that left leg. Press the hips back, lengthen forward. Just bring your right hand to your right hip for a moment. And we're going to rotate through the ribs to stack that right shoulder over the left shoulder. Reach that right arm up. Breathing here. So for a moment, just feel this. Whatever this feels like for you, where you feel it most. Check in with all of that. And then bring your right arm alongside your ear, palm facing up, and open up that whole right side of your body. Notice how that feels. And then we can wrap that right arm behind your back. Again, maybe the hand comes to your sacrum. Maybe it hooks all the way around onto that left thigh. Deepen that rotation. And then depending on how strong you're feeling today, maybe you extend that left arm forward or hand over your heart. Good. Let's start to slowly back out of it. Bending that left knee, come back into warrior two. And back into five-pointed star. And now let's bring the hands to the hips. And we're going to soften the knees here, pressing the hips forward and hug the elbows and shoulder blades together. And as you inhale, let's elongate up and back. Good. Exhale, release. And again, maybe you bring your hands to your heart this time. Inhale, elongate up and back. Good. Exhale, release. And this time, let's interlace the fingers behind the back, hugging the shoulder blades together. Extend those arms back to open the heart. Soften the knees, press the hips forward. Inhale, elongate up and back. And then exhale, let's fold forward. And check in with your shoulders. See what's going on here. Inhale, coming halfway up. Bring your hands to the mat, to the floor, in line with your shoulders. And you're going to bring your left hand closer to the right hand. And maybe you're on your fingertips, maybe you're in a fist. As you inhale, reach that right arm up, coming into another twist. Follow your hand with your eyes. Pressing your hips back toward the wall behind you. Lengthen all the way up your spine. Pressing the crown of your head toward the wall in front of you. So on each breath in, feel the length of your spine. And as you exhale, explore the twist. Good. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, lower. Let's place the right hand where the left hand is. Inhale, bring your twist to the other side and breathe into this, exploring it just as fully as you explored the other side. Good. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, lower both hands to the mat. Now we're going to walk the hands in, turn the heels in, toes out, and bending your right knee, Shift your hips over to the right, and you can pull up on the toes of that left foot if that's comfortable for you. Maybe that right heel is down, maybe it's not. Again, do your best. Find your way with this. Maybe your hands stay on the mat. Maybe your hands come into prayer. And you can stay here, or you can bring that right arm inside that right leg, left arm comes up. You can stay here, or you can come into a bind. These are all options. Find the practice that works for you. Let's go ahead and slowly release. And bring it over to the other side. Find your way into it. Maybe the hands stay on the mat. Maybe the hands come into prayer. Maybe you extend, and maybe you come into a bind. But again, never compromise the breath for an asana. If you can't breathe into it, then you're taking it too far. So back off. Honor your body. Good. Slowly release. Let's come back to center. We're going to heel toe the feet together. Coming into our forward bend. So keeping the knees soft, arms out wide, inhale, lead with your heart, come all the way up. And exhale, lower your hands to your heart. And then relaxing your arms, stand tall. Coming back into Tadasana, notice how you feel now. This one might feel different from the last one. So just notice, feel your feet on the ground, check in with your body. And when you're ready, bring your hands together in prayer and focus your mind, focus your gaze. Find a still point. In yoga, we call that drishti. Drishti means focus or vision. It's a point of focus for your mind and for your gaze to help keep you steady. When you're ready, shift your center to your left. Root down through that left leg. Rise up through the right leg. Keep that right foot flexed. Hug that knee in close. Breathe here. There's a little bit of softness in my left knee. I'm making sure to leave a little bit of play there so I can adjust for balance. Keep your mind clear and focused. Good. When you're ready, let's lower that right leg. Shifting now to that right side. Root down through that right leg. Rise up through the left leg and through the midline of your body. Flex the foot. Keep it active. Breathe. Letting your body learn balance. Balancing poses are really a wonderful opportunity to notice our self-talk. This is where we tend to be the most hard on ourselves if we're not careful. Good, and release. Come back to center, find your focus, find drishti. Shifting your center again to your left. Let's draw the right knee out to the side as we come into tree. Now your foot can rest anywhere to the inside of that left leg. You just don't want to put it directly on the knee. You can have your foot on the floor, you can have it on the lower leg, you can have it all the way up to your inner thigh. Pressing the left foot, pressing the left hip to your right foot and the right foot to that left thigh. So you're creating the sense of balance by these two opposing forces coming together. Draw that right knee back, root down through that left leg, heart is open. And maybe coming into a mudra, bend the elbows, bring your hands into Gyan Mudra, open the heart. Working with balance here. relax. Come back to center. Feel the difference between your left and right legs. When you're ready, shift to the other side. Draw that left knee out. And place your foot anywhere above or below the knee. Balance out the hips. Try not to sink into one side. So balance out your hips. And again, open the heart. Hug the shoulder blades together. Good. And slowly release. Let's come back into Tadasana. Bring your awareness back to the breath. Check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back. Again, extending those arms back to open the heart. Lift your chin to the sky. Open your throat. And exhale, tuck your chin. Breathe into the back of your neck. Good. Come back to a neutral spine. And bending at the elbows, bring your hands over to your right hip and lower your right ear toward your right shoulder. And just let the weight of your head create this wonderful stretch in that left side of your neck. Maybe you make little micro movements forward and back. Inhale back to center, extend those arms back, open the heart, and then bending at the elbows, bring your hands to the other side, other hip. Opening up the neck. And you can make little movements forward and back. Center, extend those arms back and release, and let's roll out the shoulders. Good, hands together in front of the heart. And as you inhale, let's sweep those arms out and up, looking up, reaching up. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Bending the knees, lower the hips. Rooting down through the lower body, rising up through the upper body, palms together. And then slowly lower onto the mat. And we're going to lower onto our backs. So hugging your knees in close, gently rocking from side to side. Good, and then bringing your arms out wide at shoulder level, bending at the elbows. So bringing your arms into like little goalposts. Placing your feet flat, we're going to lift the hips up and over to the right about 3 or 4 inches. Cross your right leg over your left. Inhale, take a deep breath in, draw the knees in toward your chest. And as you exhale, lower your legs to the left. Keeping that right shoulder rooted down and really grounded here. If it's comfortable, you can turn your head to the right. If this is too much for you, uncross your legs. Either way, you can place your left hand on that right thigh to help stabilize your lower body. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Letting gravity and the breath do the work now. big in-breath, let's roll back onto the back. Moving your hips over to the other side. You're going to cross the left leg over your right. Draw the knees in toward your chest as you inhale. Exhale, lower your legs to the right. Keep that left shoulder grounded. You can roll your head to the left. What you want, Bongo. Take a few deep breaths here. And when you're ready, on a big in-breath, roll back onto your back. Hug your knees in close. Bring your nose toward your knees. And then relax your head, neck, and shoulders. Straighten and relax your legs. Relax your arms out by your sides, palms facing up. Close your eyes and settle into Shavasana.